Welcome, sports fans, to the Detroit Lions Tomorrow. I'm your host, Ed Moss. In this episode, I'm covering the stats for the Lions game with the Green Bay Packers, as well as some other important information regarding the game. And there may be some tidbits and other interesting facts that you may not know as part of this episode. But to lead off this segment, the Lions had a tough loss to the Bears last week, as we know. Now they go to Lambeau Field to play the Packers tomorrow and face a very hot Aaron Rodgers, who as of 1 week, the Packers are number one in offense in the NFL. However, looking back to last year's stats, since we're only a week into the season, as I covered last week, the Lions were 10th in passing. Actually, I'm going to start with the Lions defense. I'll come back in the next segment and I'll do the Lions offense and the Packers defense. Since I already started with the Lions defense and the Packers offense, I'll do it like this. Last year, the Packers were 17th in passing, 15th in rushing, 18th overall. However, they were 8th in offensive efficiency, which anybody who knows Aaron Rodgers knows that shouldn't be much of a surprise. The Lions, on the other hand, last year were last against the pass, 21st in rushing, second to last overall, and 23rd in defensive efficiency. Based on that, it seems like to me Aaron Rodgers is going to put a lot of points on the board against the Lions. And that may very well be. Because in his career, he is 15-5 against the Lions He's 15-5 against the Lions with 41 touchdowns and only 8 interceptions. And in 15 of those games, he has thrown for multiple touchdown passes. So much like last week when I said that Mitchell Trubisky would throw 3 touchdown passes against the Lions, although be it I didn't know they were all going to be in the fourth quarter, you can pretty much chalk up at least 2 touchdown passes for Aaron Rodgers against the Lions. And I think that's a conservative number, to say the least. Also, I would be very surprised if the Packers didn't put 30 points on the board. And although they didn't do that last year in either of the games where they played the Lions, I would say, considering they just put 46 on the Vikings last week and well over 500 yards, that would be expected. Also, the Lions gave up about 120 yards rushing last year. And the Packers last week had over 150 yards. Actually, the Lions gave 149 yards rushing against the Bears in week 1, over 120 yards last year, and the Packers rushed for over 150 yards against the Vikings in week 1. That's one thing I believe the Lions can improve upon. If the Lions are going to lose to Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, let them get it done through the air, but you cannot give up 150 yards or anything close to that to this Packers team. In the next segment, I'm going to be discussing the Lions offense against the Packers defense. Stay tuned to Detroit Lions Tomorrow on Ed's Sports Channel.